Good morning. Fuck you. Welcome back to another episode of the Elk Lodge podcast. What if we just say like "fuck you"? Like that's our thing. That's how we greet our fans. Hey, fuck you. Good morning. Welcome back to Elk Lodge. As always, this show is brought to you by Hexa Coffee. That's Hexe Coffee. We're obsessed with this stuff. We love it. We rock the merch. We drink it. We drink out of the cups, which I'm not right now, but trust me, we got them. You can get it too if you just order it online at hexacoffee.com. That's Hexe coffee.com. And we've got a deal for you. If you use the promo code ELK, E-L-K, you're going to get 10% off of your purchase. That means whatever you get, you load that shopping cart up, and they're going to chop 10% off no matter what.
Super smooth, super easy, just like this Hexa coffee.
Very well put.
Thank you.
Today on the show, we've got an incredible guest, our dear friend, Nico Kalwill, all the way from Buenos Aires, Argentina, here to open up that Buenos Aires market for us. Maybe we'll be number one in Argentina soon.
All in due time.
Yeah. Right in the trash.
Oh, are you gonna thrash that? Oh
Trash
my
it.
gosh!
Oh,
If you do that in my country, you're gonna be hanged in the main part. ¿Cómo se dice? La plaza central. The central
Town square.
The town square. We fix stuff until they just can't take it anymore.
I like it.
Never throw things in a poor country.
I hear that.
Spoiled little man.
I don't know. That's how we do it around here. Wait,
Yeah.
did I have
I'll
it
keep
again?
him
No,
humble. I
that's
keep
better.
taking things out of the trash all the time. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What do you mean? I don't throw stuff away like so crazy.
I know.
When you go to sleep, I'm gonna just sneak into your trash.
You could. I mean, how would we fix it? Open it and
you just normally just open and see what was the connection is running. You
frayed
just solder it back in.
Solder.
Solder.
My brother, or stepbrother, he solders, doesn't he? Micro solders.
I can solder too. But we don't have a soldering iron.
Can you? I never knew.
Everybody can solder, and it's a soldering iron costs
Oh.
like $2.
Ooh.
Okay. So we'll do it. We'll get
I'll
us
do
out.
it.
I'll take it out the trash.
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Thanks for teaching
Well, all right.
us the ways.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, Nico.
Nico Kalwill in the house. Welcome. Literally in the house. You've been staying here for a few days now? A week? How long have you guys been? A week.
A week.
A week.
We've been making music. We've been making art. And now we're making a podcast. Everybody say hello to Lau. Hello.
Hi,
We
Lau.
have our
Hello,
studio
We
audience.
love Lau.
Our studio audience.
And show off these beautiful
Oh, yeah.
ceramics.
And so Lau makes ceramics, a lot of mugs, and I mean, kind of everything, but normally with a cute face on it like this. But yeah, we have her stuff all over. But she just brought us these from Buenos Aires.
Yeah, they're so cute. We're drinking out of them. I put plants in some. I'm going to
Yeah.
propagate all these spider plants in there. They're so cute and charming.
So if you want to buy one, check the description for Lau's Instagram.
Yeah, we'll
She'll
put it
get
in
it to
there.
you.
We'll put it in there.
She will get it to you. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, Laura and I are from Buenos Aires. I mean, from Argentina. She's not. She's from Chaco, El Chaco,
Which is up north a little bit, right?
up north. Yeah, a lot up north.
Represent.
And we don't speak really well your language. We're shy about it. But she's shyer. Is that a word?
I think more shy.
More
Technically,
shy
but
would
shire.
technically be
Shire.
correct.
I like Shire.
The Shire is
Shire
where
sounds
the
better.
hobbits lived in Lord of the Rings. They live in the Shire.
That's what we're saving it for. That's why
But
you
your
can't
English
say
is
that.
great. Like,
Seriously.
but like I get the insecurity about it, especially on like a show or like a recording. You know,
Right.
like,
It's
but I've never
intimidating.
felt like, oh, well, Nico's English. Like I've never not understood what you're trying to say to me in English. You know.
No.
Versus
And I
my
would say
Spanish, I bet
both of you
is
guys
worse.
do such a good job just like putting your heart and your energy out there. So there's so much communication that just happens inherently, I would say.
Yeah.
But your English is very good.
Thanks so much. I'm hot.
It is
Well,
hot.
I did just
We
turn
had
off
to-
the AC.
You guys, I feel like, are still a little bit riled, or like your feathers are ruffled after this adventure you had today.
Oh yeah, my car got towed. So I was trying to show them around. We went on Mulholland Drive, which is a shitty movie, but a great ride.
You had your own Mulholland Drive today.
And
your
yeah,
own
we,
experience.
Do you agree
That's
that
sexual.
it is
Well-
a shitty movie?
I disliked that movie strongly.
She disliked it more than I disliked it.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't
Because
enjoy
I at least I appreciate what he's trying to do. It's just not my thing. But you were like, fuck that movie. Which
I'm a cynic,
I
I
agree,
guess.
kind of. It's
That's what
just
I felt.
okay, you know? Kind of creative. We said it's like a jazz album. It's like
I wanted
it's
more or
impressive,
something.
but
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, for-
I could, if I had made a movie like that, I would be very proud. They should be proud of their work, but I didn't. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, for people that are into these kind of movies or into David Lynch, is it?
yeah, it's David Lynch.
This is probably like a scene, what we're saying. But
I'm sure.
yeah,
And like
I
you're
saw
such
it when
an-
I was really young or younger than now when it just came out and I thought like, I'm not getting this. What's so, because I've heard that you
So
gotta
good.
see it. It's the best movie ever. And I felt like really stupid. Like maybe something's wrong with me, you know? But yeah, I don't even remember what it is about. I just remember it. I thought it was shitty.
Yeah. Well, we're here to let you know that you're right.
Yeah.
It's shitty.
So the car you got.
Oh yeah.
did
So
you-
anyway, we parked on Mulholland Drive, walked to like Runyon to see the view, beautiful view, and then we walked back. But I had parked like halfway. Half of my car was not allowed to be there. Half of it was, and they took the whole car. They didn't take just
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't think it was even half. It was just a trunk.
Yeah,
They could have.
just they could have
If
just
they would have
could
taken
emptied the
two,
trunk.
you would have Fred
I've got some
Flintstones all
things
the
in
way
there I
home.
need to donate anyway. They could have just taken that. But anyway,
Yeah.
they took it. And then, I had to call the number, had to call an Uber because now we're stuck on the
So
top of
what
Runyon
number
Canyon.
do you call? There's
311.
You call 311.
Called 311. I was on hold for
It
like 20
says
minutes.
on the parking
Yeah.
signs
On the signs.
in case your car gets towed.
So
Call
anyway,
this
then
number.
and Nico helped me figure out which impound it would have been taken to. We got it. We got it figured out. But it was, I don't know, it was kind of exciting. It kind of,
Yeah.
it broke my spirit for 1 second and then we bounced back.
Yeah.
It was good.
And there was a recording saying we care a lot about about your call, about this call, so just keep waiting. And we kept waiting for like 20 minutes.
Right.
So
I mean,
They
at
wouldn't
that
really-
point, they've got you. I mean, you are waiting.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
yeah.
It's funny though, like why do they don't need to pretend to care.
exactly.
It's 311. It's not like Walgreens or
No,
something.
they
Like
don't
there's
care.
no
It's sort of like you're not sorry. This is your whole MO. I mean, this is what
right.
you do.
You took my car.
You do this to everybody. You take the
Yeah.
cars. You're
But anyway,
a
we got
car
it back.
troll.
Then we went to In-N-Out. Nico's first time at In-N-Out. What'd
yes,
you
I
think?
was talking it up last night. Hopefully
yeah,
not too much.
pretty cool.
You liked it?
Does it live up to the hype, or was it like kind of a hyped up thing?
I didn't even know that there was such a hype. So
Good, good.
All right,
it
perfect.
was pretty cool.
So it was good,
Yeah.
even without hype.
Did you go inside?
We went inside. It was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cute in there, right? You feel
Yeah.
like you're in the episode of Saved by the Bell or something.
Yeah, like the little hats and like everybody.
So chipper, everyone.
It
you
is. Yeah, they do a good job. It's a good burger.
know? Yeah. I want them to have a veggie burger, though.
We
already.
did talk about that. How
I
they-
need it. I'd be
Yeah.
there all the time. In and out, whoever's listening.
Get your shit together.
Somebody's got to know somebody. Get it to the top.
So how did you and Lau meet? If she's from up north, did she move down to Buenos Aires?
She was living. She was born in Chaco, which is a place that is super hot,
Okay.
and it's mostly. I was gonna say it's just like wild animals, but no, there are little towns. She's from a little town, and she moved to Buenos Aires like when she was 6 years old or something like that, 5. So she's practically
Got you.
Buenos
So she was
Aires.
born in Chaco?
She's born in Chaco.
Born in Chaco, and then
But she studied school in Buenos
Yeah,
Aires.
most
She's
of her life was in
practically,
Buenos-
yeah.
So how did you two meet then?
We met through a friend who's still a super great friend of ours. She went to school with Laura, and I met her because she was dating a colleague of mine, and I got divorced like a couple months, just 2 or 3 months before I met her. My friend, I was kind of fucked up and devastated by my divorce, but and she said, well, at a certain point, you're gonna start like dating again, you know. And I said, yeah, do you have anybody to introduce to me? And she said, I was waiting for this question, you know.
I thought you'd never
Thank God you
ask.
asked. Yeah.
Yeah. And she opened her folder, you know. She already had everything. I don't. Laura's making me like signs, like watch out with what you're saying.
Hey, you better
what
get
can I
all the
say that
details
it's-
correct.
Is
right
it wrong
over
to
here.
say?
What can I say that it would offend anyone?
No, that's
So she pulled it out, and then she introduced you to Lau, like at a party, or
She
Gave you her
introduced
phone
me,
number?
Gave me her phone number.
Oh.
That I never did that before in my life, and I never did it again. I just called her. And
you
said-
never met her?
We've seen each other before in like a birthday party or
Sure.
something, but we probably never even talked to each other before.
Okay, so you call her.
Yeah. And I said, hey, you know, I got your number from Gabby. And she said, oh, yeah, she told me you were going to call. And I asked her out. And we went out to have some drinks. And the rest is history.
So
as they say. The rest is
you clicked
history.
right away. You kind of were dating from that point on.
Yeah.
Wow, wonderful.
I mean, I clicked right away. I don't know about her.
Well,
But yeah, we started like, we kept seeing each other every like 2-3 days first, and then every day, and then we
beautiful.
moved in together.
And now you have a beautiful daughter together.
We do.
Shout out, Julita,
Julia, yes.
our dear.
Yeah. And I had my Maya, who's my bigger daughter, she's 16 now, that she was 3 at the moment. And she loved Lara.
Oh, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Were you worried about that? Like, how is Maya going to react to Laura?
Yeah.
Did you wait a while before you introduced them?
Yeah, I did, but like, how long? Like
3 dates?
yeah, a month maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, yeah.
And was that because you sort of knew it was going to last with Lau? Or, you know what I mean?
I felt it was going to last, but also I felt I was spending a lot of time with her, and I also spent a lot of time with Maya, so
It's just
there was
natural.
no point of hiding.
Right.
So yeah, I introduced them just without like explaining every detail of.
This is Daddy's friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah.
Let me walk you through it.
Yeah.
But
How long before you guys got married? After that first date?
hey, we never got married.
Never.
Never. And we were talking about this.
Yeah,
with-
but you
I
missed
didn't
the
hear
whole
that.
chat on the beach. It was an interesting conversation we had
Oh.
about marriage and kind of some of the differences in Argentina versus here.
Like what?
I mean, we are cool and you're not.
That's true. You're good at soccer.
No, we are. That's essentially it.
Oh, I
We
mean,
don't- we
they're the
don't
best at
feel-
soccer, right?
Yeah,
Shout out to Argentina.
exactly. I mean,
At
we're
least the best in
Nico.
South
South
America. We'll find out next
We'll
summer
take it.
just who is the best.
when we have to face Germany, forget about it. So
Well, so is that more common in Argentina for people just not get married, just stay together?
yeah, we don't even have the tradition of the like engagement and the ring. Some people do, but not the people I know. I
Not
mean,
the cool people he
yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
Only you guys.
You guys are punk rock. We're a bunch of nerds over here.
Classic nerds.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, so you just, yeah, great.
We are, at least in Buenos Aires, it's not such, we are not a very traditional sort of society, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. It's just me, maybe.
I think our tradition of it is based in religion. And I think America is normally more religious than
But Argentina's like
others.
mainly Catholic.
Well, Argentina, it is.
Largely Catholic.
it is mainly Catholic, but I'm not. And also, there's in Buenos Aires, there's a lot of Jewish, a really big Jewish community. I've heard like it's one of the biggest in the world. Like after New York and Israel or whatever, we were up there. So there's a lot of mixed couples. So nobody wants to impose their religion to the other, or sometimes they do, but it's not my case at least. So getting married sometimes has to involve that. And other than that, it's just paperwork. And we don't really need that paperwork. We just, And I got married once anyway. My first wife.
Right.
And it worked out for a while. We had a wonderful daughter. But I got the experience. She didn't get it. Laura didn't get it. But I explained.
You're like, we don't need that. We don't need that. We've talked about it too that way. It's like, if we're going to stay together, we're going to stay together. If we're going to break up, we're going to break up, whether we're married or not. So we have talked about like, what's the point of this in any way? But I guess at this point, it would just be kind of a nice, like, check mark, like a sort of stamp on a moment, like in our life, like sort of a milestone, yeah. But I don't know.
Nico was mentioning too that they don't necessarily introduce people. He wouldn't say like, "Oh, this is my wife, Laura." He'd be like, "This is Laura." Just like the possessiveness kind of comes out.
We say a lot like "mi pareja," which is like my couple. So we don't
partner.
Like partners. So we don't imply that the possession of.
What do you say? My partner.
It's true, but partner or the word partner already like, I don't know.
Doesn't imply.
You say my, it's true, but you can say it's the partner.
Yeah. Well, if I say this is my wife, I'm not saying like in a possessive way. It's sort of like in context. You know me in relation to me. This is my wife. Right? It's not necessarily a possessive thing.
Yeah, it's true. When you say it's my mother, you're not like possessing your mother.
Right. They're just my mother. You know me.
Describes
For me,
your
that's my mother.
Yeah.
You're my friend. I don't know.
I'm not yours.
Yeah. You don't belong to me.
Some people say this is a friend.
He's a friend of mine. See? That's still possessive though.
Yeah.
It's hard.
True. But for some reasons, saying in Spanish is mi esposa. The word esposa, which means wife.
Yeah.
Also, it means the cuffs, like the police.
Shit.
Oh, that doesn't seem coincidental.
The old ball and chain.
That doesn't seem coincident.
Wow. Yeah, that is not a coincidence.
I don't know. Maybe it is a coincidence. I'm not the one.
That's funny though.
But
it would feel weird to say this is
my
esposa.
My cuffs.
I'm a prisoner.
I'm a prisoner.
Or this is my
You're
prison.
cuffed. You're with this person legally. You're cuffed to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually makes sense.
Wow.
And also the other, it's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not so much about possession, but the esposa word sounds weird. And then the other alternative, they come up to it's mi mujer, which means my woman. Oh. And that to me sounds a little possessive,
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds possessive in English too.
There you go.
My woman, my girl. That feels
My
a little
old
more,
lady.
My old lady.
Yeah, I mean, who talks
My old bag. Yeah, the old bag. She don't let me do anything anymore. That's like kind of an old timey way to say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you that. The old bag.
The old bag.
Yeah, I gotta get home to the old bag.
Yeah. Going down like that.
I don't know. Might as well have fun with it, Well. So, how we met, you and I, mi amigo,
Yes,
Nico, was through our friend Carlos, who he hasn't been on this podcast yet. We almost had him.
No.
I can't believe
He's
that.
been so busy.
Carlos is from Buenos Aires, and he really took an interest in JC and I's music and was, sort of our soft manager for a little bit, trying to help us get moving. And then
you said soft manager? I never heard that.
Because it was
expression.
casual? You're saying that because
it was
casual?
Correct. Like, if someone's just sort of like, a bro helping out, not so official, but they're sort of soft managing. Or like sometimes a big management group will have a client that they're not officially signed to, but they're just sort of helping out. I think it's called like a soft managing. I don't know. Maybe I made that up.
No,
But I've heard
I'm
it.
learning something every day.
So he was sort of
I didn't
soft
know that
managing
either.
us. And he had a day where he was like, I'm going to email my friend in Buenos Aires. Like maybe he'd like your guys' stuff or something. Which is actually credit to him too. He always said, what you guys need is a producer. He was like, I love your music. I love it. He's like, but what you need a producer, I feel like. And I sort of resented it a little bit. I was like, what do we need? Like the music's good. I don't know. But then now working with you, I think he was right. Like it really tied it all together. But anyway, what was your version of that story? You got the email from Carlos.
Yeah. Actually, I got a Facebook message. I don't really use Facebook anymore, so probably the message was sitting there for like a couple weeks. But we are not actually friends. I would love to be his friends. I don't mean that I don't like him, but we've met just a few times in our lives. We have a friend in common. Pablo is my friend from high school, and he was his friend from, how do you call the previous? From
Middle school, elementary
grade
school.
Elementary school, yeah. Or the other, no, it was the other way around. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he was the one who many, many years ago, I started working with CocoRosie. And he was the link also in a really, really like casual way, because they went to Buenos Aires for a tour. Mm-hmm. And he was there too. He was living in New York, but he was there too, coincidentally at the moment. Mm-hmm. And they asked him, as his only friend in the city, that they wanted to go to the recording studio for a day. And he didn't know any recording studio, so he called his friend Pablo. Pablo is a musician, but it's not a producer or engineers. So he called me, and I started working with them that day, and then we never stopped working until now. That was like 13 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I met Carlos that day. We had ice cream together. That's all I remember. And then I've seen him like once or twice in my life. Once in Germany, another time in New York. And then I got this Facebook message. He's telling me, have you heard this about this band? Sometimes I get some friends because of my work. Mm-hmm. They just want to show me stuff that they loved. And he told me, have you heard of this band, That Kid Is You? I think they are the future of pop. And I didn't know he was your friend. Right. I thought he was just recommending me a band that he was a fan of.
Have you heard of this band, That Kid Is You? No, exactly. You haven't. He knew that. He knew you never heard of it. Nobody's heard of it.
Yeah, maybe he didn't say, have you heard? But I felt he was just showing me this band that he really, he was in love with.
Right. And he didn't say, I'm soft managing this band.
No, he didn't.
Didn't throw it out there.
So he's really smart the way. Anyway, I heard your album, your short...
The EP,
I guess. The EP. And I really liked it. And I said, that's super cool. Yeah, they are the future of pop. And he said, you want me to introduce you to them? Sure. And he gave you guys my email, and you guys wrote me a text. Mm-hmm. And we were in Rio de Janeiro, right? With Lau. Yeah. And we did
like a FaceTime or
FaceTime, something. And I invited you to come to Buenos Aires, and we started this album that is going to be the future of pop.
Yeah. And I remember too, we were like, we were a little apprehensive to bring this up. We were like, what we want to do is show up with nothing. Like just do it all when we get there, figure it all out, all the songs, write them when we get there. And then you were like, I prefer that. That's my favorite way to do it. And it was like, yes, like this is
Yeah.
the right guy, you know?
Cool.
Because we were kind of I don't know, at least I felt that way. I felt like, oh, he's gonna think we're like crazy or we're amateurs or I don't know, because I never really done like a professional production like that album.
But anyway, producing a record, it changes in it with every project, and it's not the most common thing. What you did, it's super brave to do it, and it brings up super like fresh elements to the, because what's normally people will work on a demo and then they perfect the demo into the record,
Right.
So there's something in that in the camino in the way of making the record,
Right.
that gets lost,
Right.
and in your case it doesn't, because the demo
is the final.
It's
Yeah.
the final,
Right.
and I love that, and I've done that with the girls, with CocoRosie. They work like that, and I don't think I've done that with many other people other than them and you. But I'm confident.
Such a vulnerable, kind of raw experience, though. I mean, you guys, so basically you did it in 3 sessions, right? There was 2 trips down to Argentina, and then the 3rd down in Sayulita. So that, I mean, it's a certain like bond I feel like was formed between
Definitely.
everybody making
my
the
gosh.
music that way, which wouldn't have necessarily happened as much if it was just being emailed back and forth,
Definitely. That was the part I least expected, was just like that we'd like fall in love and like be like family so quickly. I mean, because like we got an Airbnb because we were like, I think you had offered you guys could stay here if you want, but we got an Airbnb for the first like 3 days just to make sure like that we like you, that you like us, like we didn't want to like impose or be stuck in some house with some person we don't like, And so we got an Airbnb, and I think we stayed like 2 nights maybe in the Airbnb, and it was like, let's just go to your guys' place. And it was I don't know, we became like family in those first 2 weeks.
True.
So much connection. I don't know, like how you can know someone for 10 years and feel like you don't really know them, and you can meet someone and feel like you've known them your whole life, but you've only known each other for like 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
What happened.
Well, I feel like the outcome is pure gold.
I know. I'm so stoked on this album. When people have asked me recently, like for the music, I don't send them anything on Spotify. I just send them the private SoundCloud link because like, just listen to this.
Maybe you shouldn't, and it'll motivate you to finish so you can send it to them properly.
Well, it's going to be dropping September 16th. It's coming
I
out.
love it. Nice.
Yeah,
love this
that's
announcement.
declared. That's decided. It goes.
Wow. All right.
So,
That's exciting.
yeah,
Congrats.
very excited
Putting
for that.
on the board.
Absolutely. It's on the board.
Ooh, okay.
What other than us falling in love, what surprised you about the first time we came to Buenos Aires? Was there anything that, I don't know, kind of asking you about me, but is there anything about us that were surprising?
It was surprisingly working between us. That was awesome, because the chemistry was instant. I was a little worried the first day that JC was sick.
Oh,
remember?
That's right.
Oh, I
So it was
forgot
just
he got
you
a
and me
cold.
in the studio, and I thought like, oh, we're missing like the third
Right.
leg or whatever it's called.
This tripod's only got two
Right. We
pods.
only had two pods. Yeah. It was a do pod.
So,
Thanks.
but yeah, I remember we decided to set up a drum kit, and you played all these different beats on it, and we chopped them and started making songs out of those beats. And yeah, it kept flowing super, super quickly. Then JC joined, and he started like freestyling on top or writing lyrics while I was editing, and you were like, it was always fluent. We never felt like, we don't know what to do anymore.
Right. We didn't even stop to like think
No.
about anything.
No,
which
you guys
is my
don't
least
stop.
favorite
You
thing.
just
I hate when
always-
people go like, let's think about this though. Do we want to do an R&B thing with this, or do we want to do? It's like, just go, just keep going.
Yeah.
And as soon as it got to a stale moment, start a freshie.
Start a new one.
And that was like let's start a freshie became like sort of the motto of the whole thing. As soon as it gets to a point where we're like, it's a quiet moment, it's like, well, start a freshie. And then we would always start the new song from somewhere else, you know, like, oh, let's
Always.
start with cups, or let's start with bass this time, or piano this time, or something.
Flute.
True.
I like the flute.
Oh man. And then Tato really brought a lot, and Chibi brought a lot, and Maya. That was a cool thing. Did that surprise you? Because that was Maya's first time recording, right?
Yeah, that surprised me in such a great way. Maya is my daughter, 16-year-old daughter. That we share this all the music love. We talk about
Ear.
music all the time. She shows me the stuff she listens to, and I show her all the the stuff. But yeah, we trade this, and the taste gets, it's like one. We love the same music. There's nothing that she likes and I don't, and it goes both ways.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, we talk about music all the time, and she's studying music and she sings. She never studied singing, but I love her singing. It's
It's
incredible. It's
incredible.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like beyond. Everybody's gonna be like gobbling her moments up.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So was it the first time that
I
you
think
came?
when on the first time, it was for Tres Patitos. She was hanging out. We have it on film too, so I was watching it. not too
Your
long ago.
face is so sweet.
Yeah.
It's so sweet when because you have this moment where you're like, you do a good job of not interrupting and letting the moment keep going. But then you're sort of like acknowledging to the camera, like, this is awesome. It's a very cute, very
I
cute
wanna see
moment.
that.
Yeah, we'll pull it up. Dude, all the footage from the documentary is awesome. There's so many, so much of what stayed in the album. Like, you see the moment it happened, the moment Tato went like, and that's the beginning of Wacha Que No Ve, or like the chocolate, like that whole day. I think that's the same day even.
You did a great job.
But yeah, it's crazy how much is captured. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Well,
especially those first
and then
2
the
weeks.
masks that Huli made were so fantastic. You got at least one music video up with those. Just one, probably.
Just one, yeah.
Just the one, but damn, is it good?
Yeah. Yeah, that was another fun idea, was like, while we're there recording songs we've never written, we're going to make a music video for a song we haven't even made yet. And so we just put on these masks that Huli made.
Yeah.
So, and then we just kind of danced, and we just did it all in
Just
slow motion.
danced and moved around the city. And
You've seen an edit of that video, no?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
really cool.
It came out pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
So when did Maya's musical talents start to emerge? Like, was she a little kid, very into music? Like,
Yeah, I think she was always. I can't remember when she started like being into music and loving to sing. But yeah, as the last few years, we started like sharing more and more music, and yeah, that time we became, as you said, we became a family. We were together with the girls all the time. So they started coming to the studio with us. They love being in the studio too. And I don't know how it was. You must have it in your...
we'll watch the
but
footage, yeah.
Yeah, we invited her to do some scatting on one of the tracks, and that track exploded at the moment.
I think it actually started was JC had recorded the I lost my way again. And so we had Maya go in and do a harmony. And as soon as that harmony ended, we were like, once it's over, just kind of, and then
And
she
boy,
did.
did she ever. It was like
boy, did she
angels
ever.
coming down through
It's
the clouds.
amazing.
It was a really stunning moment.
Yeah.
And then you shared at least one other song that she wrote, and blown away.
Her Rich Man song.
Rich
Yeah.
Man, I was just knocked out. It's like so edgy, and I don't know.
Yeah, I
She's
showed
got
that to
kind of a
people.
Billie
And then I'm
Eilish
like,
vibe. She's doing
she's 15
great
years
work.
old. People are like, what? Like,
Yeah,
I
that's-
wonder when she's gonna come to you and ask for help, because I feel like she's busy.
doing it all the time.
yeah.
Is she asking for like?
Yeah, But
To record or just for pointers on?
no, she wants to make her own record, and his dad is a record producer who has a recording studio.
It's a good
Yeah.
spot to be in.
She's so
Yeah.
lucky. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I want your help. I want you guys.
Can we please?
Of course, and JC as well. Chibi also offered
yeah.
to play.
Sure.
Chibi is Cirilo Fernandez. For the people who doesn't know, check out his music. It's called Fernandez 4, and he's a super talented jazz pianist, and he's a friend of ours. And yeah, he also offered. He heard Maya. He offered to
Yeah.
be there for her.
We'll assemble the dream team.
Oh, I
Exactly.
love this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not like I feel like she doesn't even need us. She's so lucky
that's-
though,
I
because
was saying that
we're
'cause
going
you
to
were
show
like,
up anyways. But
Yeah.
man, she's super talented.
She barely needs us. We're just sort of, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I've never really tried something like that,
How-
like producing somebody else's music.
Yeah. Well,
It will be a real learning experience for me.
it will be so cool because I don't know if I can do it.
Right.
Because
You're too close.
exactly, and I tried for one day for a couple of hours. She did this demo of this song called "Rich Man," and she just did it by herself on the phone. Or Javi, I think Javi put a mic on the piano and recorded her, and that's it. I wasn't involved at all.
And it is powerful in that simplicity, though. I think she's got a good thing going with this sort of
Definitely.
less is more kind of approach.
Definitely.
But
Yeah. So I tried to. I said, "What do you want to do? Should we think of a production for that song? Yeah, let's do that." And I started going on all my logical path, not the improvisation type that we did together. I've learned to produce in many different ways, and this I also sometimes need. Some people need like the structure and need like a producer to do everything, so they just sing on top of it. So I started like, okay, I'm gonna do like this beat and this like bass line, and then you on top of this click, and then you can play the piano, and then you can sing on top. And I didn't feel it was the right way to approach. So it needs more of her and less of me. That's
Right.
why I want to just, how do you say?
Step
stand
back.
Step back.
Yeah.
Paul's
A little
very
bit.
generous with me when we make music. Like, I don't necessarily always keep tempo very well. So I'll just sort of, like, he always meets me there. So maybe it's best to, like, let her keep recording tracks that are really casual and, like, you know, spontaneous a little bit, carefree almost, and then just layer in support from there so that you kind of are still letting her lead.
Yeah. Does she have a lot of songs already written?
A few.
A few.
Yeah.
Because that's a different approach than like, let's just make shit up. Because I bet she would kill it at that
I
approach
think that's
as well.
that's the
Well, she
approach
did.
I would go for.
It's
And
like
that's why
almost like we should start there, and then like 5 songs in, it'd be like, oh well, all right, let's take a stab at that song you wrote, you know. But like once we've got like we've all
a
kind
good
of
idea.
made some beats, some songs, some grooves, some like we have some workflow.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to build off of a demo. Like I've never had success at it. We had some demos, JC and I did. We took it to our friend Ryland's studio. Ryland was on an episode of this, and like tried just like kind of replacing the recordings with just something higher quality. But I still, in the mix, I still ended up keeping a lot of the stuff from the demo just because like that's the song, you know, like
yeah.
the demo is the song, you know.
We did
that-
the same with the ones that we made.
Exactly. Yeah. We made all these songs and we talked about retracking, re-recording things, but really the good stuff is how it was. It's a really difficult thing. I don't know. What's been, I don't know if you want to say, but what's been the most challenging record you've ever produced?
Yours. No, I don't know. Everything it's a challenge, but surprisingly, the most seasoned, the artist is, the easiest for the majority of the
The more
cases.
seasoned the artist,
Yes.
the easier your job is.
Exactly.
That
So
makes sense.
I would think like if I had the chance to work with, I don't know, Paul McCartney, I would shit my pants in like, I would be super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But then it would be probably easier because he's recorded so many times.
Right.
The studio is his,
Yeah.
so he would be much easier, I guess, than recording with somebody that is in expert and has no, it's super
Sure.
insecure about everything and insecure about himself.
Right.
So the most difficult jobs that I had were with artists that I didn't really enjoy. They didn't really enjoy what they were doing. They were insecure, and it's hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Is it like, are they
like pulling
trying
teeth.
to, they like have a goal? Like, we're going to make an album that sounds like this band or sounds like this artist, or is like, we're going to make a pop album, or we're going to make a,
That happens,
You know.
sometimes too, and I hate
hate
it.
that.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Many times, I get these artists or bands coming with the refs, with the reference tracks. They have like a playlist. Before we even meet, they send me the playlist of their dream album, and most of the times it doesn't even make sense. Like they have a song by Bob Marley and another one from like Skrillex. So like how do I?
yeah. What do you
What's
want
the
me
thread
to do though?
here?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of sounds like that's the hardest, is where if the artist doesn't know what they want.
Well, then the producer has to create with it.
I prefer that case, that the playlist is so like all over the place that it doesn't even make sense. So I'm gonna go with my instinct, and it's gonna go well. I rather do that, and I like people that come to the studio with no idea of what they're gonna do. What I don't like is when they know exactly what they want, and they want to sound like the Jonas Brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta just listen to that record and try to mimic that. I used to have to do that because it's my job, but nowadays I reject those jobs. Unless I'm starving, I tend to reject stuff that I think I'm not going to enjoy. I'm not
like
the
a
right
soul
person
sucker.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's just the way I work. I know there are other producers that are so good at this, and they can, because to me, if you copy something, you want it to be avant-garde and trendy. You're never gonna get there because you're copying it. Even if you copy the newest thing, you're gonna be behind. So some producers are really good at taking this and just cranking it up a little and making it unique and new and still super trendy and fun. Maybe, yeah, I'm not the right guy for the checking out the references.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it, and I need to enjoy what I do to be able to give you the best of me.
Yeah, definitely. So you started as like an engineer. Did you always want to produce, or did that kind of just naturally come?
I started working as an engineer. First, I was a musician when I was younger. I played bass on a hardcore band, and then a guitar on another band, and in a band, I think you say. Anyway, on and in translating from Spanish to
You
English.
have the same word.
Yeah, I don't know. On, in, yeah.
Well, because you do N for on and in.
Yeah, it's true. So I never know
then
which one.
Yeah, it's
goes.
okay. We get it.
So then I think when I went to a studio to have my music recorded, I loved what I saw. So I got myself a portable 4-track analog studio, and I started recording my own stuff. And then I started to become a sound engineer / music producer. That was like the title that you get. So, but my idea was the mics, the tape machine or the Pro Tools right now, and the preamps and the equalization and the reverb, compression. All that was what I wanted to do. I didn't even know what producing really was.
Yeah.
So I started when I started working, I started as an assistant in a recording studio, then an engineer, and over time, people start to ask you for production advice when you're the engineer, and when you get it right, they started to ask you for more, and then they recommend you as a producer. That was my path. For some people, it's completely different, but that's the way I got into producing. Like,
cool.
It was casual. It was soft.
Soft producing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it.
At the beginning, and then it became hard.
Super hard.
Yeah. Now I'm
Produce it until
hard
you
as a rock
producer
now.
it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
get it. That's nice.
Yeah, but to me,
found
it's a word in music that sometimes it gets misunderstood. Some people think producers are gonna like give you the money to do your record. Some other people think they're gonna make all the decisions for you, and sometimes they do. Maybe there are other types of producers. I don't give you the money.
You give me the money. Yeah.
You give me the money.
Yeah.
And I tend not to be the one who wants to have the final word. And when I was an engineer and I worked, also the way I learned producing as an engineer, I worked side by side with many different producers from Argentina mostly. But I learned from them, and I learned what I didn't want to do also. And many times I saw that the producer is the guy that says, no, that's not the way we're going to do it. We're going to do it my way. And he many times he leaves stuff for the musicians to decide, but he has the final word always.
Yeah.
And I don't like being like that.
Yeah.
I like to contribute with all I can, give you tools, give you options, and I want you to have the final word. And if I don't love the final word that you came up with, I'm going to say it to you, but I'm not going to impose that you're going to do my way. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to give you option A, option B, option C, until maybe you still prove that you want your option. But I'm just, it makes me work harder at the most, but I'm not deciding so that keeps me learning all the time. I like doing that not only because of an ego trip that I don't want to go on, but also because I feel I learn all the time more if I give you that place. And the records that I produce, they don't sound alike.
Right. There's not like a Nico sound, but at the same time, we showed one of our songs to our friend, and his wife heard it, and she said, "This sounds like CocoRosie." And I was like,
again?
Anton's wife.
Good job.
She was like, "This sounds like CocoRosie." He told me this over the phone, but then I was like, "Dude, believe it or not, it's produced by the same guy, so that's crazy." And she said Tres Patitos sounded like CocoRosie, which it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't really, at least in my understanding or my perception of CocoRosie and what I've heard.
There must be
there's something
that I bring to the table.
Yeah.
Even though I don't impose or
of course. Your flavor is sort of in there.
Yeah, but I don't think and every producer has its own.
Right.
But some of them you can tell, you can always tell, who's
Pharrell or something. Or,
I don't even know if Pharrell. I don't know if I know even if I would be able to tell all the time. But I would Jeff Lynn or Jeff Lynne. I don't know how he's
Jeff Lynne from
Lynne
the Traveling Wilburys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He I love him, and he produced a lot of really great records, and it's always that sound, that snare, that everything. It's got that sound, those choirs. It's great. But I do something. I wish I was that guy anyway. But what I do is it's a little different.
Is Jeff Lynne your? I mean, what all did he produce? Like George Harrison records? Or
Harrison, Paul McCartney, of course, the Electric Light Orchestra. He was from the Electric Light Orchestra, and then the Traveling
We have a double album of theirs. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
He's
That
amazing.
Preston gave us.
Yeah. That's so great. We'll have to listen.
He's great.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has. Oh, he also produced Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, but he's got his sound that it's confusable. You know.
Right. Unmistakable.
Unmistakable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his sound, and
Cool.
it's always really you can tell all the things he does.
You have this, what I learned from you, like you have this amazing, I mean, it's sort of your step back approach, like step back and let it happen. You sort of guide it, but you create this atmosphere like anything can happen. And if you're guiding anything, like you're not like grabbing it and putting it there. You're just sort of saying we could do this or we could do this. It's this. Was there one producer that you worked with that was like, I want to be like that guy, where he just was like very laid back, very like, let's just let things happen. Let's see where it goes. I'll kind of try to guide you certain ways or offer advice. Like, was there one person that gave you that, or where do you think
Not really.
that approach comes from for you?
I don't know. Really, it was when I was just an engineer, or even when I was an assistant at Panda, the studio in Buenos Aires. The producers that were more laid back like that, I felt like they were failing a little sometimes, because many times they were failing actually, because they were just sitting in the couch with one girl or two and some drinks and some Coke or whatever, and just a little more, just bring up the vocal, more of that every once in a while, and they like to me that was not making all the job, but some part of that I guess I like, not the Coke part, but I like
The girls, though, the two girls.
yeah, exactly, my daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're there,
They are. Yeah,
Yeah.
They help.
and we have a Coke, but it's a Coca-Cola. I can't Coke.
There you go.
But yeah, then I work with producers that they really are in charge of everything, and it's their way or the highway. And I think I made a mix of what I've lived.
Are you often also the engineer?
Almost
you're-
always.
Right.
Almost always.
I think that kind of helps you, because at the very least, you're the engineer. You're sort of an engineer who's there to kind of help if you want to, like, offering ideas, but you're sort of disguised as an engineer in a lot of ways, you know, and it's like,
Yes.
it helps you kind of, your role is very clear. And then the producing is like these added little extra things, but it's not. Because if you weren't the engineer, maybe it would be like more just sitting on the couch and, a little of this, a little of that. But because you get to be engineer, I think it's like you get to fall back on being engineer. I think it helps you.
I think normally my approach is if I'm not needed as a producer and the thing is flowing and there's stuff being recorded and they're being recorded well and there's stuff being written, and if I don't need to do anything and I just engineer for a while, and then they'll ask me or I'll say whatever I need to say. And sometimes like I have a moment with the songs, or a few moments, or a week, or a period of time where I'm alone in the studio with the music and I do my own stuff, and that's where I'm the producer more than when I'm with the artist, or I'm like a collaborative musician or something. Like in the I think between the first time you came to Buenos Aires and the second one,
We did a lot.
right? I took all the sessions, and not only I edited stuff, and so I also added synths and bass lines and guitars, and I had Maya and asked her to do vocals. So I like to, and again, I just bring all this stuff in case you like it, and if you don't, we just mute it. And you liked it all. That was
Yeah. Well, it's all good.
I feel like another thing you do well is like presenting changes, like your recommendations. They do always feel very approachable. I don't know. There was just times in Salulita, I just felt like he was like pitching things in a very easy to digest format.
Yeah.
Kept it easy on you guys.
You've got a little Phineas in you, in the best way. Like you just you're good at presenting an idea in a way that it's
Not intimidating.
that people will receive the idea. Like you're not manipulative, and I think I called you this a little bit, and you were like, I don't think I'm manipulative, but all I meant was you're good at guiding things a certain way without
Nico's like
saying,
water. He takes the path of least resistance with your music. He just finds the path to take, and he's like, okay, where do you want it? This is what I'm hearing. He's
and you don't say like, it's got to be like this. But you help us see that it would be better like this. In a great way. I think it's I don't know. I learned a lot working with you. Like. Just even the social skills of it. That's being a producer in a lot of ways, is being like a good social person. Like you don't create tension. You're good at like keeping everybody calm, comfortable. It's never awkward. There's never like a weird, I don't know. It's the vibe. I think like creating the good vibe is a big part of what you do, or at least what you did on this record.
But
in such a good way.
it's curious because I'm thankful for what you're saying, and I try to I work to make it happen that way. But also, it's I've seen other producers do a completely different thing, which the results are sometimes great, but they do create tension on purpose. Like
Phil Spector, didn't he like pull a gun on John Lennon or something?
There you go.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, that's not the only example. There are many stories about studio experiences where they didn't have a good time at all. It was tension all the time. And then those records, sometimes they are amazing anyway, or thanks to that, I don't even know.
Sure.
But there's many different ways to approach
Definitely.
the making of a record. I like this way, is the way that suits me the best. But yeah, sometimes I feel like I need to speak up a little more because I feel something, So it's a give and take. Sometimes I prefer some songs to go in a way that is not specifically what I would plan if it was my song. But it's not my song, it's yours. So I'm there. I'm always trying to remember, or I always remember, I don't need to try, but I always remember that I'm not a guest musician or a feature in a record. I'm there to be invisible and to help my clients, the music, and you as an artist, and I don't need to be part of it. I don't need to show anything. So, so there's you need to, whatever.
It's almost like it's a thankless job a lot of ways, and like you need to take the ego out of it. Kind of like we were talking about drummers the other day. Like you almost shouldn't notice the drummer. You should never be like, wow, this drummer is just like stealing the show. Like that's a bad drummer. No matter how incredible what he's playing is, that's a bad drummer. If you're just like, oh my God, this drummer is just killing
but
it.
It's a matter of taste anyway. That's
Sure.
how you see music or hear music, and I agree. I'm like you. I don't like athletic music. I don't like guitarists that can play super fast, and that to me doesn't give me goosebumps. I just prefer like two notes that are like for some reason they just get through me.
Pierce you.
Yeah. But that's just taste. I know drummers that mostly these type of drummers are heard by other drummers, but they're students, and you know. But yeah, I know many people who love this sort of music. So it's a matter of taste,
Of course.
but
But I think a lot of ways as a producer, it's best, or I don't know. Your approach is sort of egoless. You take the ego out of it. You're not there to like make sure. I don't know. You take the ego out of it in a good way.
It's not your name
Like we had to
stamped
sort
on
of
the
keep.
album.
We had to force things. Like you sing a little bit on the album and stuff. You wanted that out, and we had to kind of add like keep pushing you into the record. Like we wanted you to be a musician on the record and sort of be like a. It's the three of us made the record.
Supporting
I mean,
man.
really, the six of us made the record if you count Chibi, Maya, and Tato, which you have to, you know. So, like, it was a group effort. But yeah, I guess it's always better to have to push someone for more than to have to be like, geez, we got to get Nico to stop trying to put himself into this record, you know. So you did the right thing. But yeah, I like when you're a musician, especially on our music. Probably wouldn't work all the time.
no, forget it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm really expecting your album to come up because it's gonna be for me a good example of what I can do. If I want to sell myself to someone as a producer, this is a great sample because you allowed me to do everything I wanted. So that's so cool.
I feel the same way. You allowed me to do everything I wanted. Like, anyway, it was just such a great it's such a good album. And I think it's because of this freedom is, I think, what made it so good. Like, we just had so much fun. Like, I don't know.
And
Yeah,
for
you
the
did
record,
that.
it's not easy, and it doesn't happen often at all that you get like in 7 days we made 17 songs. You know,
I think it was maybe 10 days because it was 2 weeks the first trip,
okay,
but still.
10 days, 11 days. I don't know, but we made 17 or 18 songs from scratch. And then on the second trip, we worked a little bit more on them. And then there was another trip where I went to Mexico and we just recorded some vocals. But that was it.
And
that was
had an epic time.
Oh my gosh, the most epic time.
That was so fun.
That was. But yeah, it's crazy that. Yeah,
I mean,
because
you
the
guys
second
made
time
the
we didn't
whole
make any
sound
new
studio.
songs. All the songs were written or really like formed at least the first time.
Yeah.
Some of them changed a lot over time, but it still was.
Yeah.
It was fun. Your little makeshift studio with all the pillows from all the couches stacked everywhere.
Dude, Sayulita is just such a crazy, amazing place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was amazing. And we shot the music video there.
That was really fun. Yeah, with the drone and that house that was just begging to be a backdrop.
Yeah, we rented this. I mean, JC found this amazing house with
Help
a lot
our
of-
girl Rebecca. Couldn't
Yeah,
have done it
Rebex-
without her, the
Rebex-
mayor
Rebex-
of all of Sayulita.
Exactly.
Rebecca's the major of Sayulita.
Yeah.
So many rooms, the best view in the world.
Yeah.
And the day I brought one microphone, one preamp, one little interface on my computer, and we borrowed a couple monitors, and we just needed a space with good acoustics. So I searched for with the help of Julia, for all the couches,
All
extra
the cushions, yeah.
pillows, cushions, and we made like this. We
Fort.
really
Yeah.
changed the sound of the room with all the
Really
stuff
did.
that we put.
Super cool.
There was a moment where
I knocked your
you knocked-
microphone over. We
Yeah.
have one microphone in Mexico, and I knocked it down.
yeah,
I forget how. Oh, everything came down in that moment. I knocked the camera down. This camera right here. The reason it doesn't have the autofocus doesn't work anymore. So it's manual focus right now because it dropped in.
yeah,
in
and
Sayulita.
there was some
Went down in
mystic
Sayulita.
like triangle symbol
Oh,
there
yeah,
from
that
the
broke.
house
It shattered.
that broke.
I see.
That thing wasn't that cool though. We did them a favor because it was like this mystic thing, but it had like
It was the equivalent-
label maker, like
True.
like
Live,
Earth,
laugh, love,
sense,
yeah.
whatever. Live, laugh, love, whatever it was. It was like it had to go.
Yeah,
but
no one misses that.
yeah.
But
I missed my microphone though.
the microphone we
No,
could
it
have
didn't
done
survive,
without.
or did it survive?
I sent
He
it
soldered
to.
it.
It was a
Soldered it, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a Neumann, a vintage Neumann microphone. You know, they are super. I shouldn't have brought that on my backpack. I should have brought something.
I
that
shouldn't
little
have
more
knocked it over.
No. But anyway, I sent it to Petrungaro. This is the guy from Buenos Aires that makes amazing preamps, amazing mics, and he also fixes mics like that. So he fixed it. He remade the capsule, and now it's sounding better than before. So you made me such
You're
a
welcome.
big favor.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So great.
So then, since then, the album you've been producing, what you've been working all the vocals, pretty much everything's done. What has to happen, I guess, between now and September 16th?
As far as the mix, almost nothing. We listened to the whole album the other day, and there's a
In the
few
order that you
notes.
guys- so that was
we
the
set
next
the
game.
order.
You guys
we
set
set the
the-
order. It's going to be a 2-part album. I think one will be called Argentina Left, Argentina Right. That's at least what it is right now.
Because they were at least on the left and at least on the right. Yeah. And we made it in Argentina.
Yeah, and like we wanted an A and B, 1 and 2, red and blue, but I think I like left and right because it's not necessarily
An order.
in order. Yeah, it's not 1 and 2, left and right. You might start with right or start with left. Anyway, so there's a couple changes that have to happen there. There's mixing
Yeah,
or mastering. I'm sorry.
Mixing
Mixing is
the
done,
notes
yeah.
that we have, it'll take.
Yeah, there's
They'll
mastering,
take a
which
minute.
we did choose the
Mastering,
mastering
no.
engineer. That's locked in.
Okay, now talk to me about that mastering. What does this mean? This means anything that's out of place, right?
No. It's like the final mix. It's like all these tracks, right? And then the mix bounces down into one stereo music file, right?
Okay.
And then the mastering engineer will get that stereo file, and he will, or she, will make it louder, maybe like more treble, less bass, depending on how you like, just these last final little tweaks. But there's a lot of magic in those little tweaks, and like it's an important step. Did I explain it correctly, or you? I should have let you
He
explain
seems
it.
unsatisfied.
Nico, what is mastering?
No, yeah, you explained it correctly, but yeah. So there's no way to change any particular element or instrument in the like when I'm working with the tracks, I have always a chance to mute, to bring up, down, or equalize, do whatever with every single
That's the
instrument.
mixing.
That's the mixing. Here you don't have that. But what you have, the most important thing of the mastering is that you have many tracks that are an album. So you have to listen to all the album on the order, in the order, and there you go. And find the sound of the album, like balance. Maybe you feel, there's the track 1, track 6, and track 11 that to you they sound the best, and some of the other tracks with some little tweaks on the equalization or compression or stuff, they will sound as good as these other ones. And that's, to me, what mastering is important for.
Like connecting them all so that they all sound
Exactly.
Cohesive.
and
Exactly. Even the as you said, the loudness to me has more to do with that, to make it cohesive with
because you don't want one track super loud and one track super
It's like
quiet. That's no
decibels.
good.
So what's the
Exactly.
range of this album?
the problem in the
finding
last 20 years, or 30, I don't know years. But the problem is it's been taken to a point where nobody even cares about that, what I'm saying, but they care about their loudness compared to the loudness of these other records that are out right now. So they just, for many people, mastering is just making it loud as loud as anything else that's in the radio, and that kind of many times it just ruins the mixing and the idea of the recording, because every record has its own loudness, because it has different. The mixing also has a lot to do with the loudness, but also the elements and the way it was produced and the kind of music you're doing and what you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to sound loud. Maybe you don't want to sound that loud. So for many people, that's the most important part of mastering. And to me, if you're releasing a single, mastering is not even important. That's what I mean. Like, to me, mastering it, the most important part is like, listen to this is what mastering engineers are good at. Like listen to the whole thing, not just now get in and like listen to the snare and try to bring more brightness to one element.
So JC the other day, when he was saying that he was listening to Spotify and then he went to one of our songs and it was quiet, he had to turn it up. That you didn't care too much about that. But it's more, if those songs are on an album, you shouldn't have to turn it up or down in between songs that are together.
Exactly.
That's at least less important.
Yes. And you're talking about a song that I didn't mix.
No, it's got nothing to do with you.
Because I sound loud anyway.
Yeah.
No,
sure.
I depending on the style, loudness is more in the mix than in the mastering. You can make it loud in mastering, but you're gonna fuck up whatever it's been decided before. So to me the best mastering guys, they don't change the loudness that much. They just listen to unless they feel when they do it sounds way better. And to me, engineering, mixing, and mastering, what they have in common is we want to take what you wanted to express and make it more to express loudly, not in the literal way of saying loud, like with more strength. You know what I mean? So sometimes we take technical decisions to make your message come through with a wider,
stronger.
That's all. So in mastering, sometimes you're able to do that by making it louder, but it's not like by default. Sometimes it's already loud. You don't need to make it more loud.
Right.
Or sometimes the message needs to sound soft. It doesn't need to sound loud. So it's a matter of being tasteful and delicate, not trying to do the same thing for everything.
So there's the mastering to do. There's the publishing, all the.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Oh, you don't know.
I don't know. My work finishes
once you send it to the mastering.
Yeah, I just know that when I'm mixing, I'm finished mixing. I send it to this guy who masters it. It comes back. It almost doesn't change. It's almost exactly the same thing that I sent, but with something.
Okay.
It passed through this.
So it's past your thing.
Yeah.
And but to answer your question of what has to happen, all Nico has to do is send it to the mastering. I'll do the publishing, like make sure everyone gets songwriting credit, because like Nico is credited on the whole thing. Tato, Chibi, Maya, like that. Everybody, if a song makes $1 million, like it'll already be pre-set up where that money goes,
Awesome.
Album art.
Oh, that's fun.
That is fun. Those are the things that have to happen in order for it to go out. And then also on top of that, more videos, more promotion, looking for management, shows.
Now, will this be a soft manager or a hard manager?
We're looking for a rock hard manager. But those are the other things that will happen. But the things that need to happen in order for it to actually physically be released or whatever are those. Anyway, so 2 months. Pretty
All right,
exciting.
let's think of some adjectives that describe the album.
Okay. What do you got?
Well,
you
what was it
you're the
before?
least
It was
close
like
to
the
it.
future of pop.
The future of pop.
The future of pop, but that's like a phrase. I mean, you can
That's
be
a phrase.
phrases, but phrases are adjectives, like descriptors of any kind.
Well, a phrase I use, because we often struggle, like, how do we describe our music? Normally I just say, like, just listen to it, you know. But I've sometimes used this phrase, it's music you remember from the future. Because it's sort of familiar, but you also never heard it before, you know? Like that Lux Prima album is like that too. It's like you hear it, you're like, I think I've heard this song, but you haven't. It's just that kind of a song where you feel like you've heard it before. So I don't know. I mean, what you're the least close to it. Give us an adjective.
I'm the least close to it. Oh man, no, I'm close to it.
But between the two of us, you're the least close to it.
Well, I think it's like energetic. You know, it's very.
But if someone said, what kind of music does your boyfriend make? What would you say?
That's a good question. The elevator pitch. I'd say it's kind of, there's like hip hop, some pop elements, not like unlike anything you've ever heard before. Super unique. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's hard.
I guess I
It's
usually
hard
say
to
it's hip hop, but experimental and a little bit indie.
It's hip hop.
It's hip hop.
Hip hop.
Hip hop. Hippopotamus.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I don't. I'm always asked these questions about different projects that I worked on, and I never know the answer.
It's difficult.
I never know. I mean, sometimes I can describe how I feel or how much I like it, but I can't tell you about the style. I don't. If I can tell you like super quickly which style I'm working on, I probably don't love it,
Right.
because I like the music that you can't pinpoint
Right.
with a name, you know, in a category.
That's
So
this. This is
and this is it.
Which I love. I like not having a clear answer to like what does it sound like.
well, the songs, even each like song is really different from the last.
Definitely.
I mean, there's just a lot going on in a really good way. But yeah, I put it on to walk a lot, and it's just like that's why I picked Energy, because it just kind of gives you this good old vibe walking through. But it's really engaging. It's interesting.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about it coming out. Fucking
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. And then the next album. That's what I'm even more excited for.
Seriously,
which I know
you've
is
been
dangerous
here
because
you've been here for how long? A week, we decided, and how many songs deep are we now?
I don't know, 9 or 10.
9. Yeah,
At least the
we're
starts of
we're
things, yeah.
maintaining the same pace,
Yes,
That's right. Yeah, we are on
and
pace.
it's really impressive considering we don't even have Tato
No, yeah, we don't even have Tato.
or Chibi.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, we for the next album we had talked about
yeah.
getting a house in Patagonia, southern Argentina, in the snowy mountains, or maybe it wouldn't be
Ooh-wee.
snowy, depending what time of year we go,
or how
or
how high you go.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. Like,
Yeah, can you even imagine working with another producer other than Nico?
no, never.
You're never
Yeah.
gonna do it.
I don't know. I don't know why I would.
Never, he says never.
I don't know why I would.
It's on tape.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
Yeah, Nico's gonna have you sign a non-compete clause or something. An agreement.
Like I could, and even we have like Anton's a producer, and JC and I went to Anton's house. We are producing a couple songs there, and that's fun. But to me, like, I don't know. To me, like That Kid Is You actual albums are the ones we'll make with Nico, and then everything else is like for singles. So I'm happy to work with other producers. It's fun. It's a good exercise. Like I learn a lot from doing it. I learn more, you kind of get outside of your comfort zone. But to me, I don't know. Why would we get anybody different?
Was there anything you were nervous about? Because you obviously produced all the music up until this point. Was there like an ego check you had to do? Or
I was
anything?
nervous.
You
I mean, when he told me, I studied at Full Sail. What did you study? Producing, an engineer or whatever. Okay, so what do you need me here for?
But then he realized very quickly I retained very little of the information that I was taught at Full Sail.
Well, I mean, you have your own style for sure, but
I do. I guess.
and it works for
I
you.
thought I would want more control of it. Like, because I didn't know what we would get from you. So my initial plan was like, we'll record all this, and then I'll take all the stems home to LA, and then I'll like really do my thing, you know?
Yeah.
But that never happened. It never had to happen. I had a couple
because you
nights
trusted Nico.
because I trusted Nico and everything he was doing. I agreed, and also even while we were recording, if he had an idea or if I had an idea, the other of us were like about to say the same thing. Like we sort of think the same way. It's like, you know, not that there's like a right or wrong answer, but like I don't know, we have the same sensibilities of like
get excited
what is
about
right
the
and
same
what is
things.
not. Yeah, we get excited about the same things. So I sort of learned in that first 2 weeks that I wasn't going to have to. But I still did have a couple nights, which is like kind of part of that, like once you're alone, something else kind of happens, you know, for you, for me, like sometimes in the day we're working and there's a song and I'm like, I have ideas for this song, but like I can't explain them. I don't even know what they are. I just need to be able to sit there and like try everything.
Yeah.
Time stretch, fuck around with it.
I feel the same.
To get it right. And so
and we both have our chances to do that, and we did it, and we all liked it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that was my surprise, was that I did so little, that I had so little to
No, I mean,
to
but
do.
that's a good sign. That
It's
means
huge,
you're
yeah.
in a good spot because
Definitely.
you wouldn't want it to be another way
Yeah.
where you're like feeling compelled to do the whole thing when you're seeking guidance and
Definitely.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was my only concern, was that like Nico wouldn't get it
Or be open
would
to
be
But it was also so cool for me every time you because sometimes when we were in Buenos Aires, it would be like we would be in the studio for 12 hours, and we are started to get tired, starting to get tired, or I was, and maybe JC too, and Paul is like, "Can I stay in the studio?" Yeah, sure. Here's the keys, and we walk home. My place is five blocks from the studio, so we walk to home and go to sleep, and he would stay all night.
Sounds about right.
Like, yeah,
that doesn't sound like me.
yeah.
does it?
But the cool thing is, in the morning he tells me, "Okay, I did all this bunch of stuff on these 3 tracks, but you don't feel attached to anything. If you want to mute it all, just mute it all. If you want to keep..." So that message for me was super interesting, because I didn't feel like I needed to, like, just leave the stuff there, because he put a lot of hours in it. So many stuff I used in a different way. Instead of muting it, I just, if I shift it or if I pitch it down, or sometimes, I did mute it. So it was cool to have that freedom that he has. He also has that approach as a producer, that like, I'm bringing ideas, use them or not use them. So it's a
good little back and forth, little tennis game there.
Yeah, I sort of like feel like it's like I'm just putting colors there for you to paint with, but like use them or don't use them. But like at least last night I was really stoked on that color, So it's there. But and sometimes I think JC and I are both, and you, maybe that's why we also work so good together, like that egolessness where it's like, I don't care whose idea it was, like whatever's just feels the best is great. I don't care who sings it, who came up with it, who wrote it.
Yeah.
And JC is that way, you're that way. It's like, we're here for the song. We're not here for ourselves,
Absolutely.
So that's I think part of why we work so good together, that we kind of share that, like, I don't know. Yeah, we're not like tripping on our egos too much,
Not
a little bit. I think I do sometimes, but
I don't think so. You don't even know what that is. I mean, as a producer and engineer, I've only worked with musicians all my life. So and I've seen ego trips that are like insane.
Yeah.
They're like it's the ego. It's bigger than the song, than the artist, than the music, than the world.
Right.
So you're
Cool. Thank you.
you're cool.
It really helped too having a third, because like if JC and I disagree, like, what do you think? And then it's always 2 against 1, and so it was very easy to be like, great. Like
The tripod needs
disagree,
the 3
but
legs.
if it's 2 against 1, great. That's what we'll do. Like that always made it easier too.
To me, 3 is the perfect team for making music.
I agree.
It's a great,
At least for like being at the top, like the decision people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's huge. But yeah, I don't know. I love you. I was so.
I love you too.
I was so stoked, and like those nights staying up, I didn't care if you kept it or not. Like I just had fun. It was like amusement park to me. Like it doesn't matter if I did anything. That was just like the most fun I could possibly have, and I would be sitting there like, I can't believe my life right now. Like I'm in Buenos Aires in a recording studio all to myself. I got all this. I have weed. I have beer. I have like coffee. Like I'm making fucking songs that I'm stoked on. Like, so it didn't really matter to me if it was like everything you did yesterday we threw out. It's like I still had a lot of fun yesterday. Like it was an amusement park. I was just there to have a good time.
And I loved like every time the next day just to check out what he did was so cool.
I feel that way. I go to bed every night and I get like, hey, you want to hear the song I made last night? And it's like, oh my God, I was asleep. You did all that.
And the funnest is like, I forget too. You wake up and it's like, what did we do last night? Like, and then you hear them, you're like, oh yeah.
It takes you right back.
It takes you right back.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was remembering this one song called Tunnel Vision that's gonna come up on the new album, that used to have a live drums, kind of a fast, funky feel. And you muted them that night and added made some electronic, super slow drums, and that's how the song is now. And I don't think you even quantized them at all. They were like.
They're sloppy. They're messy.
Sloppy, and they're so perfect. And that's what makes these songs super strong right now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. I was very stoked on that. Yeah. Very lucky on that one. For like, but then for Too Much Shit. So you'll hear on the album, like in my verse, it goes to this faster, like, beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. And to me, I had a night, I made the whole song that way. And that was the most pushback I got from like some crazy thing I did at night. Everyone was like, JC was like, this is like some Disney Channel bullshit. Like, I played it expecting like this, like, holy shit, like this is amazing.
No deal, huh?
But then, but in the end, you guys were absolutely right. And the thing I did, like, it just existing for those 15 seconds.
Yeah. Just
it's
4
all
bars.
it needs to be there for, you know?
And also, we were talking about us being 3, but many times Maya was part of that decision.
Yeah.
And in the mixing process too, every time like I'm doing something really radical, she would, because during the pandemic she hasn't got school, so she's been coming to the studio with me and going to a different room to study when she has Zoom classes, but then coming to the control room and check out what I'm doing. And every time she has an opinion, and I love the way she thinks and she hears. Mm-hmm. And many times she helped me mixing your songs. And previously when we were at the studio also, like with that track, she also said, too much shit. I think
that's the one where I sped it up.
In the beginning, it was like this live drums and this like super hip hop retro vibe, and Maya loved it, and I loved it too. But JC, when he said at a certain, I don't know what was he thinking, but at a certain point he said, "I love all the songs. The only one I don't love is Too Much Shit." And I went to Maya and said, JC said that. you didn't like that song, and she's like, no, it's my favorite. And then you, like, this was all happening at the same time. You went to the studio that night and you, like, muted those drums and made it like a super fast Disney type thing. And yeah, the next time we heard it, we didn't. I missed the old hip hop vibe, but that all the work you did condensed on those 4 bars that as it exists now, it makes the whole song make sense now.
Right.
Before it was, it needed that.
It was almost too just like this. Like it needs kind of the...
So you'll hear it when the record's out.
Yeah, it's very
September
funky.
16.
There's a lot of, how do you describe this when there's like, it's not just the tempo, but it's like almost the whole attitude of the song really, I feel like shifts and adjusts and like changes a lot.
In all the songs or that one?
In all of them, honestly. There's just like room for variety, it feels like.
I don't know exactly what word you're
There's
thinking
no
of.
word. There's no term.
But like just the fact of it, like kind of every 4 bars or so, like something changes. Like maybe
I just
that's
feel like
just
it's like a voyage. I feel like the songs they're just not very like linear necessarily. Like
I agree.
They're I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like to give you too much time to like settle into what's happening or just to get bored. You know, like you never really get a moment to get bored on this album, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like as soon as you think you know what this song is, it totally like flips on you,
Right.
or the next verse has this like totally different flow or something. Like something's always kind of.
It's a journey.
There's surprises.
It's a whole journey.
A lot of surprises.
All of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I feel, I don't know about you guys, I think you would, at least JC and Maya, maybe not you, but we are really anxious about the way we listen to music, like most young people like me listen to music these days, that sometimes you just listen to a part of a song and you don't even listen to whole albums anymore. Me too. I see you listening more to albums than most people that I know.
Okay.
Like real
the
records,
helps,
and then in the car you play an album many times. And I admire that. And I used to be like that when I was younger. But right now I'm like changing all the time. And then in a way, I wanted to make a record that has that vibe, that vibrant, ever changing vibe.
Okay, we'll change the song for you. You don't have to change the song. This song is like 5 songs in one.
Exactly. And I think it's super fun. It's that makes it really fun to listen to because it's unexpected. There's tempo changes in all the songs. And at the same time, it's not like a intellectual or complicated record at all.
No.
It's not like progressive rock.
No.
No, it matches your personalities
it's poured
in
out
that
of
way.
us, and you were just there to sort of catch it, and then we just kind of molded the clay.
It's super approachable in that way.
Yeah.
I feel like you all did a good job of it's not like an ego-driven kind of rap or hip-hop that I feel like is kind of dominates the scene.
Yeah, we didn't
Like, it's very
think about it at
Sweet. Y'all are cute.
Thank you.
Isn't that how
We make
you
cute
got
songs.
described-
That's what our friend Jeff said.
that you
I
make
agree.
cute
Like
songs.
Steely
They're
Dan, you make
so
cute
cute,
songs.
right? There's
Yeah.
all these cute moments. You can just hear them.
I even say cute in Chocolate.
Yeah.
JC was extra
Damn cute.
on that one.
Yeah,
man.
it's a cute album.
It's cute
for sure.
Yeah, super cute. I had something, but I forgot it.
I'm excited for the album art.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe it's like the left one is like my left hand, the right one is JC's right hand. Maybe we paint the hands. Maybe it's just the hands with some other kind of thing.
Nice. That would be cool.
But we also, like, you saw the EPK with the TV and like it's this like collage of things. Remember with the yellow background that Jordan helped us put together? Mm-hmm. It might be probably something like that too. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, you have time, just like a couple.
Not too much time. Not too much time.
I mean,
I don't want to. I want to think of it as if I have no
helps.
time. You know,
The date
'cause, like,
helps a little.
yeah, the date is
The
crucial.
clock is ticking.
I know.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I
fucking
feel
A.
like that's Nico's continual advice is like, don't sit on them too long to the point where you let them go stale in your own mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which I feel like,
definitely.
we're all still excited. There's enough enthusiasm that we're not going stale, but I understand the concept.
For sure. And like,
Don't
just
wanna
put it
be
out.
dusty.
Like, you know, I met Post Malone. I showed him the songs, but like they weren't released yet. And like I've met people through like my job and stuff where if the song was out at this point, I would have been able to
Exactly.
push it and promote it.
Yeah.
But instead, I just talk about it as something that's not yet out because I have this fear that it's not gonna like hit right away, or it needs to, you know, everything needs to be in place for this chess move to work. But really, that's fear based, and it's not the right way to operate.
And sometimes for a record to be super successful, it does need all these pieces of this puzzle to be exactly at the place, in the right place at the right moment. But I don't think you need to wait for that to happen. You know, I think the moment is now, and if the puzzle it's a mess, whatever, you know what I mean.
Sort it out.
Yeah.
We'll sort it out, and we focus on the next record. And the record needs to me, it has every album has its own time. You know, the time to work on it and the time for it to be released. Then it's going to be there forever. That's what I love from my job, that I do things that are going to be there forever. At least in my imagination.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the thing is, I'm losing the point. The thing is that you even like I don't like going back to a mix, for instance, many times and changing this little tambourine. Maybe it could be a dB lower. You know, I hate that. Many people work like that and they get great results. I mix the song in one day and that's it. And then I get one a couple of notes that I make when I listen that same night, and I just go and fix those little notes that I wanted to do. But if I kept going to the same mix every once a week for a year, I don't know. In a way, maybe it's gonna be the best mix in the world, but in the way I see it, it's gonna be the shittiest mix ever, because it doesn't have a moment.
Right.
And the same way I feel about releasing the album. It does. It's stronger if it has a moment. And the closest that moment is to the making of it, the better. At least I feel this way.
Yeah.
You know, we started that record in 2019.
Yeah, it's been a while.
October, but we have the pandemic in the middle.
Sure.
And it's still we're still there.
Still going strong.
I think if that wouldn't have happened, this record would be already released for sure.
I think so.
But yeah, I'm super happy that there's a date.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Will be the event of the season.
It sure will. So yeah, September 16th, folks. You'll be hearing a lot more about
Heard
it
it here
before then.
first.
But you heard it here first. Never forget, the Elk Lodge brought it to you.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to say I love you guys.
Love
And
you too.
yeah, it's been wonderful. I mean, I love talking to you without microphones. We
Yeah,
do that
me
all
too.
the time.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a little weird to feel that other people are gonna listen to this or are listening to this, because I'm shy about my accent or my English, but I forgot about it until now. So
Good.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
you weren't as, because you said like an
At
hour
the
ago you were
beginning-
nervous.
Yeah, I said it at the beginning, and I'm saying it at the end. But in
Now
the
you're nervous
middle-
again because I asked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time
But
for
in
more
the-
mezcal.
In the middle, yes, exactly. It was so cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much for doing this. Nico Kalwill, ladies and gentlemen. And loud. Woo, woo,